continuing to lead, and just Jose having little looks everywhere, still not able to get around him. What an unbelievable defensive masterclass this is from Unorthodox. Pit window, we reckon, is open, so the game reckons that these guys need to make one more pit stop for a fresh set of inters. As we see just Jose having a little look to the inside. Dan tries to close the door, squeezes up against the pit wall. It goes late on the brakes this Dan. Somehow he's going to hold on to that position. Wow! Unbelievable racing that was from Unorthodox. Just Jose had the inside line. Dan went so late on the brakes and managed to hold it around the outside, and just Jose wasn't able to cling onto the position. That is incredible racing there from Unorthodox. Really got his elbows massively there in that little battle, but just Jose still not able to get ahead of Dan. But is he going to be able to do it now? He's going to have the outside. Dan's going to try and throw one back up the inside. As he is. Oh, look at that. He's gone deep into the corner though. And I think just Jose's got to have that move done. He has. Just Jose swoops round into the lead of the Russian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Dan can fight it no more. He put up a valiant effort. Some absolute idiot forgot to turn his controller on. I do all the controls on the spectating. Some absolute idiot on the wheel. I've been talking to myself. I plugged my controller into I plugged my headphones into my controller, but didn't turn the controller on. I'm an absolute div. I am so sorry, everybody. I am so sorry. Well, I'm more sorry to myself because I've been sat here talking to myself for the last 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm sorry to everybody who's been sat here watching and waiting for an actual stream and has just heard silence the whole time. But Hasbaz's currently leading under the safety car. Really unfortunate to have lost A. Thompson and Krestenanime and then Vidic obviously early on, which triggered this safety car. But it was a very close battle at the top of the leaderboard in the qualifying session. We had Sergey, we had Little Greavy, and we have Game for Life separated by Harp for 10th. Just all three of them in that qualifying session, so it's incredibly close in this order. But these guys obviously down the field now. Hasbaz leading the race in his final appearance in the F1 League for at least a little while here at Motive. He's going to be joining Air Cadets in the future, which means that he won't be around on Friday nights. But he's leading the pack here ahead of Mr. Basil Clarky Boy in P3. Whereas Raki in 4th, Joe Ram just behind him in 5th place. There's Sergey Zeynalov, the first of the trio who've dominated the qualifying session earlier on. Little Greavy was 3rd in the quali session earlier on, was very close to Sergey and Game for Lifetime, who's running in 9th place. We've got Rednat in between those two and Game for Life, who's running in 9th. There's Bennett LCFC. Game for Life and Bennett LCFC both on the hard tyres. They're going to be strong once we go through this restart. And Horatio and DJ Phil rounding out the 12 cars, still out on track at the moment with the 3 guys, Nemvidic, Krestenanime and A. Thompson, all sat in the pits at the moment. I think they're all retired early on, so they're all sat in their garages watching this action unfold. And it's Hasbaz currently leading us around on lap 5 of 22. Once this safety car peels in, we should, I think, have 17 laps left to go in the race. DJ Phil taking a little while to close up onto the back of them. Yeah, I mean, we should be able to go at the end of this lap, I think. I don't know. I wonder what the race director's going to call here, because DJ Phil isn't quite with them yet. So we may be seeing another lap under the safety car. In fact, I think we are going to get one more lap under the safety. So yes, we are. We are going to get one more lap under the safety car, as Rednas, for some God knows what reason, has overtaken Game for Life. So under safety car, so he's up into 8th. I'm not 100% what's going on there, if I'm honest. But here we are then, lap 6 of 22. We've done a lot of it under safety cars so far. Apologies to those who tuned in earlier on, hoping that you were going to hear some commentating on the stream. I forgot to turn my mic on. I'm a bit of an idiot, to be honest. But yeah, JR in the comments saying money's on the one with the 4 wheels. You know what? I don't. No. I think that Valentino Rossi is going to win this on a motorbike, if I'm honest. But JR also saying Sergey for the win. Sergey currently running in 6th place, as we said earlier on, but had some very strong pace in the qualifying session. Was only 400ths off for the pole time set from Game for Life. So I think you could be onto one there, JR. Kyle Beckett there says, evening all, can't hear anything. You can now. Apologies for that. Festic saying same, obviously echoing those sentiments off of Kyle. We got Pete Bibb saying sound is coming on, I think. yes it is. I'm sorry guys, I am really sorry. It's so embarrassing. Festic says, there you are, Andy. Yes. But here we are then, halfway round the lap 6 of this race. Let us know in the comments, guys, who your favourite is for this one. JR putting his money on Sergey for this one, driving a brilliant qualifying session and was leading the early stages of the race. Was saved. You could say, a term in boxing is saved by the bell. I'm going to coin the phrase in Formula 1, saved by the safety car, which is when you have a crash, you've got debris on the track, you've got damage, you've got to come in, and the safety car gets deployed, and it kind of like saves your blushes, because you end up being on the back of a train of cars. So saved by the safety car, make it a trend. Hashtag saved by the safety car. But currently halfway round lap 6 here under the safety car. 16 laps left to go once we get going. And I'm sure this is going to be an absolutely brilliant race here on the Motive Racing channel for the F1 League on a Friday night. Always serves up some thrills and spills, and we've seen some spills and we've seen a couple of thrills, but mainly spills so far, with Nem Vidic, Creston Animate and A Thompson all biting the dust over the course of this race. Race control has just notified us to tell us that the safety car will be peeling into the pits at the end of this lap, so that is going to be an interesting one as the drivers do get the hammer down and get going once again. But Hasbaz lead under safety car, his final race in the F1 League for quite some time, so we'll have to see whether or not that was a hiccup, see if whether or not he can step up to the plate. So here we go, safety car should peel off here, and Hasbaz will be welcome to get the race underway as he pleases. And here we go, looks like we're green once again. We are racing here at Spa for round 10 of the Formula 1 League here at Motive in Belgium. He leads into turn 1 ahead of Mr. Basil. Clarky Boy running in third. Joram's got Raki looking to his outside as Sergey is going to duck up the inside of Raki there out of the source. So Sergey up into fifth place, and Raki looks like he's getting absolutely swamped here as Little Greavy's going to get him up into sixth. So Raki there getting a wide exit out of La Source, and it's cost him a couple of positions there. Red Nass in 8th, Game for Life, Horatio there in P10 with Bennett LCSC and DJ Phil rounding out the field, but Hasbaz is already coming under heavy pressure here from Mr. Basil coming down the Kemmel straight. Is he going to be able to give him an opportunity to try and pass the cameraman for some reason, just focusing on a tree on the exit of Radion? Don't know why, but Hasbaz still leads ahead of Mr. Basil at this point. Clarky Boy in third, Joram is just ahead of Sergey at the moment. These two running in fourth and fifth. Little Greavy onto the back of them, hunting them down as this race goes on. Festic says he misses racing with the league, might have to try and make a GP during my work hours since I work from home. Yeah, 100% mate, 100%, be cheeky, don't tell anyone. But Raki there dropping off of Little Greavy a little bit. Red Nass, Game for Life running in 9th. Horatio looking to the inside into Pouon, can he get it done on Game for Life? No he can't. Bennett running in 11th place on those hard tyres. He'll be just sat there waiting patiently because he knows that those hard tyres will easily get him to the end of the race. As Joe and Clarky Boy having a bit of an oh no, somebody's lost it. There's a Haas car that's lost it coming out of the campus, and that's Little Greavy there. He's in the wall. He's managed to avoid severe damage there. DJ Phil's already dropped off at the back of the pack here, but Hasbaz leads by just under 2 seconds. He's already making a break for it out the front. Mr. Basil has got Clarky Boy just behind him, but Clarky Boy's got Joram up his inside through Blanchimont, and Joram's up into third place. Nice move there from Joram as Sergey's just behind this battle here as they're coming up towards the bus stop chicane for the 7th time here in this race. Clarky Boy just behind Joram, breaks it a little bit late there, but keeps it keeps it in check for the time being. Hasbaz is driving off into the distance though. These four guys battling over for second place really need to pull their finger out if they're going to try and catch the leader, who's starting to put a bit of distance between himself and these five. But Clarky Boy's made a mistake there coming out of the source, and that's given Sergey the position up into 4th place. Mr. Basil is looking like he's got Joram in all over him here coming up towards Old Rouge, and he gets the wall a little bit there. As Joram didn't want to back out on that one, but they get away with it, and without too much damage, it's kind of it's continuing to drop them off the back of the race leader a little bit. But Joram's looking to the outside, coming down the Kemmel straight. He's going to get that one done up into 2nd place. Sergey trying to look to the inside here, and Mr. Basil coming in towards LaCombe. He's going to get that done, is Sergey. So Mr. Basil gave him the space on the inside, and Sergey said thank you very much. And Hasbaz has lost it. Hasbaz is round coming through LaCombe, and Clarky Boy gets caught up in that as well. Clarky Boy and Hasbaz both running into problems there. That's dropped Hasbaz down to 9th. It's dropped Clarky Boy down to P10. What a shame there. Those guys were driving a really good race at that point, and it looked like they were going to be on for some very strong points. They got to regather and go again. Who knows, there could be a safety car before the end of this race. Joram leads by 0.3 of a second ahead of Sergey. Couple of seconds back to Mr. Basil there, who's battling out with Raki, as Raki's looking to try and go around the outside here of Pouon, and Raki there drives clean around him, and Game for Life looks like he's going to rub salt in the wounds for Mr. Basil here. And is Horatio going to try and get involved in this as well? Mr. Basil going backwards here as they're side by side out of campus, and that's now he's down that opposition there, so Horatio up into 5th. In the meantime, you've got Red Nass trying to queue up behind these guys, and Bennett LCFC on those hard tyres following these guys through, but he's not making the progress that Game for Life is on those hards at the moment. Joram still leads by half a second ahead of Sergey. These two continue to dice it out for the lead. Lap 8 of 22 here at Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix at Motive Racing on a Friday night here for the F1. This is an absolutely breathtaking race so far, quite literally breathtaking for me. As we can see, Red Nass there is on the back of Horatio. He's managed to get ahead of Mr. Basil up into 6th. Mr. Basil's breathing into the pit, so he's pulling the trigger there. Those soft tyres are going to be screaming out in pain at this point, so it's probably the best time to get that done. Raki's still running on the soft tyres that he started the race on, but saying that though, we've done quite a few laps on the safety car, so that will probably negate the tyre wear a little bit. But right now Joram's pulled out just over a second of a gap here over Sergey. Mr. Basil and Hasbaz obviously both in the pits. They'll be emerging down towards the back. Mr. Basil's put the hard tyres on. What is Hasbaz going to do? He's done the same there. So obviously these guys factor in the heavy tyre wear around Spa through that middle sector, and they're opting to put the hard tyres on, which should easily get them to the end of the race. Clarky Boy into the pits to get those soft tyres changed after 8 laps on them. So Clarky Boy bringing his Alpine in. Let's see what he puts on. Is he going to go for the hard tyres and set himself up to go to the end of the race? Let's see what the crew's got ready for him. He got the mediums on, so he reckons he can go 14 laps on the medium tyres. Be no mean feat around this track. Joram's still running just ahead of Sergey right now. These two just under a second between them. Horatio's got ahead of Raki up into 4th, and he's going to get that done into Puan. He goes a little bit wide to the corner, but he's managed to make it stick there. Horatio up a position ahead of the Red Bull as Rednas is dropping off of these guys a little bit there in 6th place. He's got Bennett closing up onto the back of him. It's the real comparison here is between Game for Life and Bennett, because those two both on the hards and put them on early on, but they can definitely go to the end of the race on those hards that they've each got. But Game for Life's made quicker progress than Bennett so far in this one. Bennett obviously the dominant man in the XL F1 League on a Wednesday and a Sunday, which I commentate on and is streamed to this channel. But yeah, so far here at Motive, he's not showed the same form that we've seen on a Wednesday and Sunday, but right now he's hunting down Rednas and looking to try and bring himself into that battle if he possibly can. Rednas gained a little bit coming to that final sector there. Joam sets the fastest lap of the race out front, 6-7 tenths of a second. This is gap over Sergey right now. Sergey continuing to stick up onto the back of him at the moment as they're coming out of La Source up the run towards El Rouge and Radion. They've gapped Game for Life. Game for Life has managed to get his way up into 3rd place ahead of Horatio. Raki there running just behind him still. Rednas and Bennett continuing to run in 6th and 7th places. Little Greavy running in 8th place after being in the wars over the course of this race so far. Still got the medium tyres on that he put on 7 laps ago, but yeah, he's definitely got some work to do in this one. Mr. Basil running in 9th place, Hasbaz 10th, Clarky Boy and DJ Phil completed the classification, but these guys know that one safety car could completely change their fortunes in this race. All they need is one guy to bin it into the wall, and all of a sudden this one's wide open once again. But Joram leads 4 tenths of a second between these two. Festick saying to Pete Bibb to join this F1 league. Pete Bibb says he's looking for an F1 league, looking to join one if he can. Pete, look no further, mate. This league is one of the cleanest, fairest, fastest, most exciting leagues out there, and it would be a joy to have you with us. But at the moment we got Bennett still running in 6th place, just under a second off of the back of Rednas, and but Bennett's just dropping back through this middle sector here. I think it's the part of the track where the hard tyres really do tend to lose out a little bit compared to the soft and the mediums, because you've got the tighter, slower corners. Not massively slow, but you know, they're medium speed. They're not fast corners, is what I'm trying to say, and that's the part of the track where the hard tyres struggle just ever so slightly. And we're seeing that right now. But Horatio on the back of Game for Life here as he's looking to try to make this move back on him, and Horatio manages to get that move done back up into 3rd place there. These two continue to fight it out on the action at Blanchimont, but Horatio, obviously being on those soft tyres, is on a kind of a different strategy here to Game for Life. Game for Life on those hards can go to the end. Horatio will absolutely take the life out of those, but wait a second, Game for Life's coming in. He's got a set of hards on. He can go to the end from here. What's he doing? Is he gambling? Maybe he's gambling on there being another safety car in this race. Who knows? Well, that is a bit of a... Oh no, he had a damaged front wing. I didn't even notice. It looks fine. But Game for Life in the pits. He's got that done and out of the way, as Horatio is also at the end of the pits, but his pit stop a little bit quicker down to the fact that he didn't have to change his front wing. Joam's still leading the race ahead of Sergey. These two within 2 tenths of a second. Sergey seems to close up to him at the end of the straight into Lacombe, but it just comes a little bit late for him. He can't quite get it done coming into that corner. Guys, I want to say a big thank you to everybody watching the stream. If you like what you see, if you're enjoying what you're watching right now, then be sure to snap a like on the video, subscribe to the Motive Racing channel, join us at www.motiveracing.com. If you're watching on Facebook, then click the well, no, don't click anything because there's no link, but if you're watching on Facebook, then have a look at the top part of this have a look at the top of the screen on the stream, and you'll see that there's a YouTube logo which says Motive Racing. All you need to do is go to your YouTube search bar, type in Motive Racing, check out the stream on YouTube. It's in 1080p, much better quality on YouTube than it is on Facebook, so if you want to check it out on YouTube, make sure you do that. And if you want to get involved, as I say, go to www.motiveracing.com. But Joe, I'm still leading ahead of Sergey right now, 2 tenths between these two. Sergey very close, coming up towards the bus stop chicane. He's going to try and throw a move up the inside here. Hasbaz is out of the race. Oh, what a shame. Hasbaz has crashed out, and little Greavy's crashed out. Oh my goodness, both of them crashing out in a matter of moments from each other. Let's see if we can get eyes on little Greavy, see where he is on the track. Game for Life will be coming up on the scene. Oh, there he is. Oh my goodness, that is very precarious there. See if we can find Hasbaz, as we expect DJ Phil may be coming up on the scene pretty shortly in relation to Hasbaz. One man who is going to benefit from this safety car enormously, well, possibly Game for Life, but also Bennett LCFC as well, because Bennett, one of those hard tyres, can go to the end of this race. He's going to move up a few positions here, and I would half expect the guys in front of him to be bringing it in for a change of tyres, as this is an opportunity for them to get essentially what is almost a free pit stop. I reckon Bennett could take the lead of this race. If the guys in front of him come into the pits, I expect Bennett LCFC will take the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix here at Motive, or at least he'll be there or thereabouts. But wow, this is really up in the air now. Lap 12 of 22, it's all going off here as we're down to 10 drivers out on the track. Absolutely dramatic stuff out here. But yeah, Little Greavy, Hasbaz, Nemvilic, Crest Anime, A Thompson all out of this one early on, and this could go anyone's way at this point. With the number of safety cars that we're having in this race, this could be anyone's guess as to who takes the win tonight. It really could go any way, and obviously it's to our benefit that we get to watch such an exciting race. Pete Bibb saying, I'm in 2 championship with Motive at the moment, but after they're over, I might give the F1 a go. Yeah, you're racing in touring cars tonight, mate, on Project Cars. Maybe racing with you on that one, possibly. We've got a new commentating tonight. He says to me, go race, Andy, go race. You gotta race when you get the opportunity. But I don't know, I may do a duet with him, I may race, I don't know. But Pete Bibb will be racing here on the Motive channel tonight, possibly alongside myself, I'm not sure. I may commentate, I may race, I'm still undecided on that one. But Sergey, Joe and Rednas all, as you'd expect, coming into the pits, and Bennett also coming into the pits. I had it in my head that he'd stay out and make most of the track position, but he is coming in. He'll obviously have always a free pit stop on Horatio. He'll be able to come out clear ahead of Horatio. All of the top 4, putting the mediums on. Horatio doesn't need to come into the pits because he is already on basically a fresh set of medium tyres. He put them on the last lap, so he's alright. Bennett there running in 4th, Rednas 5th. Raki on some fresh soft tyres, running in 6th place here for this one. There's Game for Life in 7th, Mr. Basil in 8th place right now. Clarky Boy is going to be brought back into this race due to the safety car. He would have been jumping up and down at seeing that safety car coming out, because that's kind of brought him back into the equation a little bit now, running in 9th place. And DJ Phil running in P10 as he will be closing up onto the pack pretty shortly. But ladies and gentlemen, while we're here, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's watched the stream, and drop a like, guys. As you said, it's been a chaotic race, but it's been a joy to cover so far. It's been non-stop action here, there and everywhere. Okay then guys, it looks like we're about to go racing once again here, lap 14 and 22, 8 laps left to go. Sergey Zeynalov leading this race. Joanne right on his back though, as Horatio's already got a hair up ahead of Bennett up into third place there. Beautifully done there from Horatio. Bennett there running in fourth place with Rednas fifth. There's RaKi, Game for Life, Mr. Basil, Clarky Boy at the back with DJ Phil, and currently Sergey there holding on to that lead ahead of Joanne. Just about these two I feel are going to be having an absolutely brilliant battle for the leaders. Look at this, Joanne's already got a run here on Sergey. Coming down the Kemmel straight. Is he going to be able to make the move here? Coming up towards Lacombe. I think Sergey's going to have just about the legs there without DRS. Jerome's got no hope there. And Sergey's clearly got a very low downforce setup on that Haas car because it's so quick down the straights. Even in the slipstream he was pulling away from Joram. In the meantime, while we're talking about that, Mr. Basil's got a up ahead of RaKi. RaKi's dropped back to P10. Oh no, what's happened to RaKi? He's had a moment there. DJ Phil's down in ninth. That's promoted Mr. Basil and Clarky Boy up in position each, as Clarky Boy's on the back of Mr. Basil here. Sergey's still just in front of Joam right now. 4 tenths between those two. Bennett LCFC's hunting down Horatio with Red Nasta second and a half behind him. Game for Life 3 tenths behind Red Nasta at this point. Mr. Basil there running in 7th place. He's got a little bit of a gap back to Clarky Boy. These two still going at it here for 7th place. This is these are the laps where it all counts though. The final 7 laps of the race. Final safety car. We hope. Hopefully there won't be any more safety car periods before we get to the end of this race. It's all on these two here. Sergey and Joram are going to fight out the finish. Looks like they pulled out a bit of a gap to Horatio, unless Horatio and Bennett can chase after them, as Bennett's looking to try and get this move done here on Horatio. Coming out of Blanchimont up towards the bus stop chicane. Is Bennett going to be able to get this move done? He cuts back to the inside there, trying to distract Horatio a little bit. So in the end, can't do it. Can't quite get there. And he holds on there, does Horatio. But Bennett is hunting him here, as Joram sets the fastest lap of the race. 3 tenths behind Sergey at the moment, but Joam's the fastest driver out on track right now, and he's really pushing him, isn't he? Look at this, he is absolutely going for it, hell for leather at this point. Horatio there running in third place with Bennett all over him, coming up towards El Rouge. Bennett's going to want to try and stay with him there, try and stay in that slipstream so that he can use that to his advantage coming down the Kemmel Straight and possibly get the move done. But no DRS on this lap, obviously, as we're only second lap after the restart, so he's going to have to get this done by grunt, but he's going to get it done here. I think it's Bennett. They're side by side all the way down towards Lacombe. He's going to have to do it around the long way though, because it looks as though Horatio's holding the inside line, and he just about clings on for that P3 there ahead of Bennett LCFC. Game for Life into P5 ahead of Mr. Basil. Rednas dropping back down the field. Mr. Basil gets around the outside of him, but Mr. Basil's gone deep into the corner, and Rednas has come straight back at him coming down the hill towards turn 8. But Mr. Basil goes very late on the brakes and manages to just about hold it around the outside there, but Rednas is going to get the better exit out of the corner. Clarky Boy in the background watching this unfold and hoping that he can try and get involved in the battle. If he can keep himself in the hunt, then he might be able to feast on the scraps ahead of him. But Rednas and Mr. Basil currently going at it here. Lap 16, 6 laps left to go in this race. What a race we've had. These guys pulling away from RaKi. I think RaKi may have a bit of damage on that Red Bull because he's dropping it down like a stone at this point. DJ Phil still running in P10. Sergey and Joram going at it here in the final few laps of this race. Bennett is just behind Horatio, so doesn't be able to get that move done. It looks like as Bennett Horatio is just holding him off at the moment. Game for Life's now closing up onto the back of them as well. He could be joining this battle for the podium spots very, very soon. And Rednas and Mr. Basil continuing to fight it out for 6th and 7th places at the moment, with 4 tenths, 5 tenths, just about half a second between the two of them at the moment. Mr. Basil still can't find a way around Game for Life right now. Sergey has just set another fastest lap of the race there, 1:46.8, and he is getting it down. He's got ahead of Joram up into the lead of the race, so Sergey Zeynalov now leading this race like he was in the early laps. Is he going to be able to hold that there all the way until the flag? We know Joram's going to try and come back at him, and Joram will have DRS coming down the Kemmel Straight, so he's going to want to keep himself in the hunt here, as now coming out of Radion. And here we go once again. We're going to see DRS wide open for the Red Bull, and he gets the move done easily there on the Haas, despite the Haas having better straight line speed due to the way that Sergey set it up. Joram still managed to breeze past him with DRS, but we know that Sergey will keep himself there within that catchment of a second, and he'll have DRS on the next time if he can indeed do that. Horatio's managed to lose the position there to Bennett, so Bennett's up into 3rd place as those two continue to fight it out. Game for Life now just sat very much in their rearview mirrors there. Rednass still just ahead of Mr. Basil. They kind of just dropped Clarky Boy a little bit there, who's down in 8th place, but Rednass and Mr. Basil, 7 tenths between these two, coming down the hill towards Buon for the 17th time in this race. Joam still ahead of Sergey. Looks like he's pulled a little bit of gap to him on this lap so far. These two have traded positions since the restart, but it looked like Sergey got a horrible run there coming through campus, and oh no, he's lost it, yellow flag coming out the exit of campus up towards Stavilo, and oh my gosh, that was so close. Game for Life almost got collected there by Sergey, but Rednass is through, so that's Bennett LCFC up into 2nd place, Horatio 3rd, Game for Life 4th, Rednass getting through up into 5th, and Sergey now running just ahead of Mr. Basil and Clarky Boy. So Sergey, after running in the lead of the race a few moments ago, now down to 6th place in this race. Clarky Boy up the inside of Mr. Basil, up into 7th in towards Blanchimont. Can Mr. Basil try and come back at him here, coming down towards the bus stop? I think Clarky Boy's got that done up into 7th place. Is he? Yep, Clarky Boy managing to get that done there on Mr. Basil. Game for Life still on the back of Bennett LCFC, 6 tenths between these two. Joam pulling away at the front. And Joam needs this, because obviously Game for Life being the championship leader, it's imperative for Joam that he continues to bring that gap down in the standings. Obviously Game for Life's led the championship for quite some time now this season, so yeah, he's got work to do, but Joam is currently doing exactly what he has to do at the moment. Game for Life looking to the inside of Bennett up towards Lacombe, and he's managed to get himself up into 2nd place. But these two both making gains on Joam, as now we see Rednass there getting ahead of Horatio up into 5th, and next up for Rednass is going to be Sergey. What a drive Rednass is putting in here in the closing stages of this race. Clarky Boy's dropped off with these guys a little bit there in P7 after making a move on Mr. Basil, but Sergey kind of just I'd say under the cosh a little bit now. Maybe he's got a bit of damage on the front of that car from that collision with the wall that we saw coming out of campus a couple of laps ago. Whatever it is, he doesn't seem to have the confidence that he had a few moments ago. He's 3.6 off a podium, and actually I don't know, he's kind of getting the hammer down now a little bit. He's pulling out the gap to Rednass. He's closing the gap to Bennett LCFC, who's running in 3rd. Game for Life has gapped Bennett by just over a second since making that move into the Combe at the beginning of this lap. Joam there running in the lead, 6.5 seconds is his gap at the moment over Game for Life, and Joam looking like he's going to make it a victory here at Spa for the time being, but never say never. It can all change in the blink of an eye before we get to the end of this race, but he's currently doing exactly what he has to do here in this one. His teammate Raki not having the best of races here at Spa tonight, down in 9th place here in this one. He's closing up onto the back of Mr. Basil though, so we could be seeing him picking up an 8th place here in this race. But Joam starting lap 19 of the race here for the Belgian Grand Prix on the Friday F1 League here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 platform on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. What an event we have had so far, and it's not over yet. Anything can still happen, as Rednass is running just ahead of Horatio at the moment, 6 tenths between these two coming into La Source. We got Game for Life in the comments there saying this track is so hard for me, it's frustrating. Yeah, it's well, you're doing a good job, mate, to be fair. If it's a track you don't like, then you're certainly hiding it quite well up in 2nd place. But Joam looks like he's got the pace at the moment, although having said that, one mistake from him and that could all change. Hopefully he doesn't make a mistake, because he's driven really well in this one. Rednass running just ahead of Horatio at this point, 5th and 6th places. Looks like this one's going to go down to the wire between these drivers, as Clarky Boy is dropping off a little bit now, but he's gapped to Mr. Basil, so Clarky Boy's got a reasonable enough gap back to Mr. Basil. Raki has had a mare on that. Oh no, he's put the medium tyres on. I don't know why he hasn't put the softs on. If he's going for fastest lap, I would have thought he'd have put the softs on, but hey, anyway, I'm not really sure. But yeah, you can go for a free fastest lap because there's only 10 drivers in the race, so you'll still get a point for fastest lap as long as he's in that top 10. But right now Joam leading this race by over 7 seconds. He's continuing to put breathing space between himself and Game for Life. Game for Life pulling away from Bennett. Bennett's got Sergey Zeynalov now gaining on him. Sergey's gapped Rednass and is now really reeling in Bennett LCFC. We could be seeing Sergey standing on the podium but by the end of this race, which would have seemed unlikely a couple of laps ago. Sergey was obviously is our former GT3 coordinator on Assetto Corsa Competizione, has had to give that one up due to having too many commitments in his personal life. He's a uni student now, recently started university. He's obviously a busy guy, so he can't do the roles that he used to do here at Motive as much, but he's still racing here in this F1 League. It's his sole focus here at Motive is this F1 League, and he is absolutely flying at the moment, looking to try and get himself back on the podium. He got 3 podium finishes in a row earlier in the season, didn't get the best of results last time out, but he's looking to try and get back on that podium train. Rednass running just ahead of Horatio at this point, coming up towards Lacombe. 4 tenths between them as they come in towards the braking zone, but Rednass is going to hold him off for the time being. RaKiMaJe running in 7th place, just under 4 seconds behind Horatio, and he's keeping the gap to Mr. Basil reasonably the same. So Mr. Basil doesn't seem to have any answers to RaKiMaJe in that little scrap for 7th. Raki running in 9th place still, and Djphil in 10th. That was a hiccup. Horatio there just ahead of Rednass at this point. I think he's made that move there as Horatio. So Rednass losing a position. These two both on the medium tyres. Horatio slightly more worn, but it's not going to make too many odds really. Only 2 laps older, and the medium tyres don't really start to go off until about 10 laps in. So they're kind of on the same boat there. But Bennett looking to the outside here of Game for Life coming into Stavilo. Can he get a better exit here? Can he come back at Game for Life? He's still sticking with him, and to be fair, I think Game for Life must have made a mistake, because that's actually brought... I don't think Bennett was that close to him before, but Bennett looking to the outside, coming up towards Blanchimont. They're going to be side by side, I think, coming through that corner. Oh, Game for Life just squeezing him out a little bit, and Bennett can't find a way through, but he goes wide. Oh, he's lost a bit of time there as Game for Life, and now he's going to lose out to Sergey as well. So Game for Life losing 2 positions in the space of a couple of corners, and that's promoted Bennett LCFC up into 2nd. Sergey now on the podium, and Game for Life's got it all to do in these final 2 laps of the race. He wants to get himself back into that top 3. Horatio and Rednass still fighting it out. 4th, 5th and 6th places. RaKiMaJe 3.5 seconds behind him in 7th place, with Mr. Basil now dropping back in the closing stages of this race. Raki in 9th, and Djphil running at the back here. Oh my goodness. This has been non-stop action here tonight for the F1 League Automotive. Considering there's been less drivers out on the track due to so many crashing out, you wouldn't think it, would you? There's just action left, right and centre as Sergey's got round Bennett up into 2nd place. Around the outside coming up towards Lacombe. Has he completed that move? He has. Sergey back up into 2nd place, but Bennett LCFC standing on the cusp of a podium, which would have looked unlikely at the start of this one, seeing as he started from the back. But Bennett's done a really good job. We've seen him take many wins in XL F1 League from the back, and here at Motive he's no stranger to getting some very strong results in tricky circumstances. He's got 1.8 back to Game for Life, who I think has got a bit of damage on that McLaren, because he's dropping back off of these guys, and before he was on the pace of Sergey and Bennett. So Game for Life just managing this one and bringing home the points. I don't know what the championship situation is at the moment, because the standings are actually out of date. The standings are from the Silverstone race. We haven't done the standings since Hungary, so the standings are going to be unrepresentative from what they actually are. So I don't want to put my neck on the line and start talking about the championship, because I actually don't know. I believe Game for Life is still leading the championship coming into this round, but I don't know. I mean, Joam, if he hasn't caught up to him, is going to be very close to him now, as he's going to get a 13-point swing after this race. So Joam in the box seat here tonight as he starts his final lap of the race. Sergey there coming out of the bus stop chicane. He's got a bit of a gap back to Bennett. He's pulled out just over a second to him over the course of this lap since getting that move done earlier in the lap. Game for Life there running in 4th, just ahead of Rednass. Horatio running in 6th place, a little way back to RaKiMaJe. Mr. Basil now falling well off the back of RaKiMaJe in that fight for 7th place, as Raki is closing in on Mr. Basil in the closing stages of this race. Djphil running in P10. Not been the race for him, has it? Not at all. But yeah, this is currently Joam on his final lap of the race, and what a drive from him. He'll be coming in towards the final part of the lap very shortly. Bennett came from the back of the grid in this one, started on the hards, had a bit of a split strategy due to the safety cars, but kept pushing, and he's going to get the reward for it with a 3rd place. Game for Life is coming under pressure now from Rednass and Horatio with that damaged McLaren. I don't know if he might be about to lose out here for 4th place. He's going to be nursing that home on this final lap, and this could go either way at this point. Rednass and Horatio are hot on his heels here, as Horatio is looking to the inside here of Rednass, and bit of a contact there between the two of them. Rednass is going to have the inside there coming out of no name, but he drives clean around the outside there. Does Horatio. What a move up into 5th place. Beautifully done there ahead of Rednass. Absolutely world class overtake there from Horatio, but that's just bought Game for Life a little bit of time with those two battling behind him, and he might be able to bring it home for P4 here. Joam though coming up towards Blanchimont for the final time here for round 10 of the Formula 1 season here at Spa, Belgium, for Motive Racing's F1, and here he comes in towards the bus stop chicane. He comes now. Joram has driven an absolutely brilliant race tonight. He's been the quickest man out on track, to be fair. He had the pace over Game for Life. He had the edge even before Game for Life had his problems. Up towards the line, Joram comes. The Red Bull is going to take the win here. He takes the checkered flag. What a superb job from Joram. He was dominant here tonight here at Spa. Absolutely destroyed it. Sergey's going to come around to take a second place. He holds on from Bennett LCFC. A great result for Sergey. Not what he'd have wanted, but second place is great nonetheless for him. Bennett LCFC brings it home in third place. Great podium there also for Bennett. Game for Life takes fourth ahead of Horatio. Clarky Boy's done Rednass. Has Rednass run out of fuel? Oh my goodness, Rednass has run out of fuel. Clarky Boy and Mr. Basil both mugging him at the end. Clarky Boy gets his best result at Motive here of a P6. What a night for him. We've got Mr. Basil in 7th. Rednass finishes the race in 8th place. Raki's coming up towards the line now to finish this one in P9. DJ Phil has got half a lap left to go. Will be coming over pretty shortly. It'll be a P10 and a solitary point for this man here. But what a race and what a drive from Joram tonight. Got to take your hat off to Joram. He pulled out all the stops. He was the fastest man out on track. He kept it cool with the strategy and just didn't let anything phase him, did he? Really well done to him. Commiserations obviously to Game for Life having those problems in the closing stages of the race. Matty Pitt says he registered to race as a reserve tonight, but circumstances changed and he had to drop out. It's a shame there, mate, that we couldn't have you out on the track. Pete Bibb there says nice race, guys. Well, it was absolutely incredible stuff there, Pete Bibb. They really did put on a hell of a show. That looks like it's going to be that then for the Formula 1 League here at Motive on a Friday night. Big thank you to those of you who watched us live on YouTube. If you checked us out on Facebook, also head over to the website address in the top left hand corner that says www.motiveracing.com. Come over and have and see what we're about. But what a race, what an event tonight. Really was a joy to cover that here on the Motive channel. Well done to Joram, well done to Sergey and to Bennett LCFC on completing the podium. Make sure you join us next time, guys. We'll next be showing F1 on Sunday night. We'll have XL F1 League on Sunday night. Your man there, Bennett, will be out on track for that one. Finished P3 tonight. He'll be out on track on Sunday. Next time that we're on for Motives F1 will obviously be next Friday, so make sure you tune in for that. But it'll be XL on Sunday and Wednesday, and also we're going to have action on Project Cars 2 all day tomorrow, or no, all evening. We'll have the Clios on nice and early. Running a bit short for the Clios. If anybody watching the stream wants to race Clio Cup Project Cars 2 tomorrow, then just let us know on the Discord server. We can get a couple of extras in because we are running a bit short. I think we're expecting 11 people tomorrow, so a few seats there. Also LMP2s after that. I think we should be expecting a decent turnout for that, but if anybody wants to jump in as a reserve for Project Cars 2 over this weekend, then let us know. I think tonight for touring cars we're going to have enough, but I don't know, we might have a couple of seats for touring cars, not sure. But yeah, big thank you to everybody who watched the stream. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Great stuff there, guys. That was epic. That's the first time I've ever done the commentary in the game chat. Well, I better shoot off, boys. Better make the touring car room. Yeah, man, that was amazing.